Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss very important topic about Eureka, load balancing and a communication between microservices here. As part of here, we need to discuss about load balancing concepts as well. What is client side load balancing, server side load balancing, and how communication you will do whenever you are making an API call. If any service is down, how you can handle, and now Eureka, in terms of Eureka, not only for server and the client, we need to know more details also here. Yesterday session, as part of our real-time Java project, we discussed about Eureka server and Eureka client as part of the yesterday session here. Now I am continuing for the next topic here. Okay, so whenever you are attending an interviews, common interview based questions anywhere. Okay, now what is load balancing in microservices here? Okay, how load balance is important in distributed systems, why load balancing is required, what is client side and server side load balancing. Okay, till now you used as a rest template here. So now you are hard coding urls and port number here. Without hard coding urls and port number, with load balancing concept, how you can do that? With load balancing concept, how you can do web client? Instead of hard coding your port numbers and everything, how you can call a service using the service name or application name instead of urls here. If you forgot to happen to make it load balanced annotation, what will happen? What is inter-service communication? How this fin integrate with Eureka? How you can handle fallback scenarios? All these concepts we are going to cover as part of this concept here, guys. Okay, not all, this is a part 1 questions. Now let me come to the part 2. Okay, now why Eureka replication is required whenever Eureka is down, how you can do in the production, how Eureka can achieve high availability, how you can configure in your local system multiple Eureka servers, how you can do that. Imagine Eureka is down, your communication still will work or it will not work, still they can communicate with each other or not. What is Eureka client catching? These are all the things it will become under today's topic here. We'll see how much we can cover and we'll integrate everything into our application here. So by today and tomorrow sessions, these two sessions, all these questions will be covered to you as practical implementation here, not only theory. I will not discuss much about the theory, practical implementation, how we can integrate in our application as part of our Java project here. This is our project architecture here, right? If you see here, now we have a Eureka server. In this Eureka server, all your applications, user service will register, product microservice will register, cart microservice, favorite ms, and all the services, whichever services available, all services will be registered into the Eureka server here. Now, whenever you are registering, this is a Eureka client. Production is a Eureka client. Cart MS, security, API gateway, payment MS, order MS, shipping MS, all services will become as a Eureka client for your Eureka server here. These are all called registered microservices here. As part of our development, we discussed about a user MS, product MS, and cart MS here. Still, we need to communicate cart microservice to product MS and cart microservice to user MS here. How you can do communication without hard coding your port number and your domain name. You should not hard code URL and port number. It should be the dynamic here. That is the one we are going to implement here. Now here there is a concept called load balancing. Very, very important, even in interview room as well, guys. You should be aware here. Okay. Now, just let me start our point. What is load balancing here? Okay. Now, what is a load balancer? What are the types of load balancer? With REST template, how you can make an API call. With the Fiend client, how you can communicate with Eureka. What is about Eureka replication? These are all the kind of the agenda for the next today and tomorrow session, guys. We'll see how much we can cover. I will be cover as part of today's session. Then whenever I'm explaining, let me complete throughout the topic. Then you can ask end of the topic. You can raise your questions, guys, so that it will be easy for you to ask the questions on these topics here. First, I need to complete the complete content. Then you can start the questions to me. I will be answer you guys. Okay. Now, what is load balancing? What does it mean? Okay. In real time, load balancing means it is a process of distributing incoming network traffic, incoming, okay, network traffic or request across multiple servers or service instances to ensure. Means in flipkart.com, when you hit an API, millions of users access your application. The more traffic receiving request to your applications here. So if you have a single server, there is no single server get overloaded here. If you are imagine one instance, millions of requests you are receiving, it will be overloaded. Application crash can happen. To maintain, you need to run multiple instances of your application, but your request reach to your instance here. That instance will happen through load balancer here. Better performance, high availability, fault tolerance, and scalability. You can increase your application instances and load balancing also here. In microservice architecture, load balancing helps routing your request to different instances of a microservice running on different machines or port numbers here. This is a to maintain, to handle incoming traffic and forward to appropriate instances for your application. That is about load balancer here. Then what are the how many types of load balancers are available here? We have two types of load balancers are available. One, client side load balancing. Second, server side load balancing we have. Now, as part of our main topic content, we are going to discuss both, but implementation side, we are doing about client side load balancing here. This is the implementation part. But server side load balancing means you need a infrastructure, you need a cloud environment to implement server side load balancer for your application here. Then what is a client side load balancing here? Now, in a client side load balancing means client is responsible for list of available service instances. Imagine your product running on 8081, 8082, 8083. Now, okay, now how I will get to know? I can get to know from Eureka here. I get to know from Eureka here, guys. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Uh, Now, let me. uh, Yeah, sure. So client means what? Client is nothing but your microservice. Your microservice basically means cart microservice, order microservice, client side load balancing. will work for microservice to microservice communication here. Service to service communication. No end user is involved here. So, as part of client side load balancing, we need to choose one instance based on strategy like round robin, random, like different types of algorithm types. But Eureka is supporting round robin algorithm load balancer here. So available instances, it will pick one instance and you can able to forward and you can able to communicate it to that particular microservice here. Now sending the request directly to that chosen instance. When I say you may run multiple instances, maybe you are run out of five instances, one, two, three, four, five. Out of that, now whenever you are fetching, it will fetch one instance from here. There you can send your request directly to that particular instance here. That is how your client side load balancing will work here. Now lot of people, there is a confusion, what about API gateway? Now see here how client side load balancing comparison with API gateway. Typically, when you say API gateway, it is using server side load balancing where gateway decide which instance to call. So here it is not a client microservice, it is a front end team. Gateway, there you can maintain your server side load balancer. So client side means each microservice client independently chosen the instance. But in terms of server side, API gateway offering centralized routing, monitoring, authentication, where client side is a lighter and faster for internal service to service calls. This is called communication between, okay, internal microservices here, service to service call. But gateway means as a front end user is involved. When end user is involved, your request will reach to server side load balancer. That load balancer will send traffic to your application. It will be include all types of applications will be available. Load balancer will decide my request will go to which service here. But in the case of client side, each independent service is responsible which application you need to call. That is the difference between the client side and the server side load balancer here. We are going to implement client side load balancing in our application architecture as well, guys. I will demonstrate you this approach. Okay, for example, spring cloud, we have a concept called Eureka. Eureka inbuilt, if you add, it will be downloaded another library called spring cloud load balancer here. When you add this dependency, automatically this dependency also will be downloaded in your application here. So usually you can create a REST template, you can make an API call. Now this is the where you can make an auto wire here. To get benefit of load balancer enhanced concept, you should add one annotation at the rate load balanced annotation. We should add it here. Then this REST template is a enhanced to choose right instance from the registry and you can call directly here. What are the advantages and disadvantages when you are going to implement this approach here? Means request goes directly to the service. Less dependency on external infrastructure. You no need to pay any money to anything. Server side load balancer is a paid service. You need to pay the amount to go ahead for that server side load balancing. So there is no infrastructure setup is not required here. But the disadvantage means more logic in the client. In the client side, we should handle those logics as well. And every client must have service discovery and load balancing logic. This is kind of a cons when you are using client side load balancing here. Even though it is a disadvantage, but still people are using this type of load balancer as well also here. Two approaches I will demonstrate you. Don't worry here. While communication here. This is a just an example. Now another point I want to add it here. This is later I will explain, not now. Yes. Coming to server side load balancer means you client here means end user. Flipkart, you are a user. Now you are a client. When you hit search a product, fetch the product, the request first reach to your load balancer. Then your load balancer will aware all the available service instances. What are the applications are running? All services this load balancer will aware. Choose one based on load balancing algorithms. Like algorithms we have like a round robin sticky session, some algorithms we have, and it will forward your request to the chosen instance to implement server side load balancing. In cloud environment we have AWS ELB. This is nothing but elastic load balancer. AWS one of the service. HA proxy, Nginx, or Spring Cloud Gateway. These are all kind of examples of server side load balancer here. Client, from the client you are sending request to load balancer. From load balancer you are doing the service instance here. This is the flow for the server side load balancer here. Then what kind of uh, advantages and disadvantages? Clients are very simple, no service discovery logic. Why? Because your request reaching to your appropriate instance via load balancer. No need to write any discovery logic here. Centralized traffic control and better monitoring. Your request is reaching via gateway or not. Easily we can identify as well. And cons is another network hop. There is a latency will be there. Single point of failure means you cannot do anything. Server itself, load balancer itself is a down, you cannot hit an API. So when you are performing server side load balancer, they will be used for the highly available. They will use. Why? Because this is the important instance to make it available up and running is your load balancer here. Client side is in our control. Server side means it is control under the cloud environments here. When you are creating any service on any cloud, they will give high availability for your application, whichever service you are using. That is the benefit given by the cloud. So that's why they are charging from you guys. That's why they are charging from you here. That is about server side load balancing here. Now next point is, when you compare differences, what is the difference between the client versus server? Now just see this point. Who select for whom? Feature, who select the server? Client side load balancing means client is responsible, means your microservices, nothing but communication. Server side means it's a server itself is one of the service in the cloud. Now requires service registry. Yes, like Eureka, like HashiCorp, like AWS, some like registry is required to maintain client side load balancing here. But whereas server side it is completely optional, registry is not required at all here. Okay, like tools, when you coming to the client, like previously we have called a ribbon. Now this ribbon is completely in maintenance mode. Netflix is not giving any features to us. So Spring Team itself they given, Spring Cloud Load Balancer they given. Now it is integrated seamlessly with Eureka as well also. Now server side we have a Nginx, HA proxy, and AWS ELB. Now these three, still we have other server side load balancers we have, but these are all kind of a examples available servers I given. Now a direct call, yes, client to service. It should be a direct call, no. client to load balancer to the service. This is the communication. As part of Kubernetes, internally it will create one load balancer. That load balancer will use it for the API gateway. Now where you can send your request via gateway to your instances here. Complexity logic on client side, but here on server side. Now latency, it is very lower. Server side means it is a slightly higher, and network call will be happen here. This is about the difference. Just 1 minute. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. So this is about the difference between the client versus server here. Till now, are you guys with me so far? Now,
Yes.
everyone.
Hello.
One instance means one application is
Hello,
running
sir.
on one port number. Yes.
Able to
Yes,
hear me,
Shrikant.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Basically, client means internal. Whatever we have the microservices, we used to communicate
Correct.
internal only, right? There is no user. End user is involved here. Only our internal purpose communication only we will use client side. Means. That's what my understanding is. Because right, my understanding is. Hello. 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 Hello.
Are you able to hear?
No, no, no. I didn't hear you. Okay. You are saying something?
Is my voice is clear now?
Yes, yes. Your
Okay.
voice is clear.
Yes, whatever you said, 100% correct here. Here, client means service to service communication. No end user is involved. Server side means end user is involved here. Server side setup
Okay.
means infrastructure setup is required on the cloud environments. It's not
Okay.
free
Got it.
service. Clear? Exact one
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Others, any queries? Suddenly there is a power cut, guys, but still I can manage for some time. We'll see. Okay. Now let me jump. Now introduction to the REST template. Okay. Now here, see here. Now basically REST template, using REST template is one of the Spring utility class to make REST API calls. Already we implemented as part of our application as well. Okay, when you combine with load balanced, what will happen? It becomes Eureka aware and can resolve service names instead of hard coded IP addresses or URLs here. Usually, how to create your REST template object using at the rate bean REST template, you are creating a new object. If you are not specifying this annotation, your REST template is expecting your IP address and port number. When you start add this annotation here, automatically it will connect. Eureka will be aware. You can send your a hard coded IP you can replace with your application name. That is the benefit of using now to make our API call. Your application can run on multiple port numbers, maybe 8081, 8082, 8083. Like this, you can run 10 different instances of same application. When you send a request, the request can go to 8081, 8085, 8086. I don't know. That is the logic taken care by Eureka by following round robin algorithm, internally called Spring Cloud Load Balancer here. That is the importance of this annotation here. Now, now how to use service names instead of URLs here. Without Eureka, if you are making an API call, REST template dot get for object to get an API, right? It's a get API. See, localhost 8051. Now you guys tell me, imagine your payment is running on three different port numbers. Now 5051 is down, then your whole URL will be down or not? Can you access your application if this port number is changed or if the service is down? Tell me, guys.
No, we can't
No, it is
access.
We
fixed.
cannot. Then again, what should I do? Here I need to go ahead and change to 8052. Imagine payment team given three URLs to you. So you used only one. If one is down, you need to replace two. Again, two is down, you need to replace. It's a manual work is required here. Am I correct or not?
Yes,
Am
sir.
I correct or not? To get the benefit of this one, now your rest, if you add this annotation, you no need to use the local host anymore. You can use product hyphen service, and here, okay, it should be the payment hyphen service. When you create your application, you are giving application name, right? Product hyphen service, payment hyphen service, cart hyphen service. Those application names you should provide here instead of URLs or hard coding IP address here, using service names instead of URLs here. That's it. Now, doesn't matter you are running on any number of instances, it will be do your job for you. Clear this one? Any questions?
Sir, according to one question, you said 8051, 8052, 8053 services are running.
Mm.
So, if you are providing this product service, in that case, how it will be find the server those things? Which
It will
service it
communicate
is?
to your Eureka, correct? In Eureka, all your 8051, 8052, 8053 is available or not?
Yes, three ports are running. In that case,
Out
which one you
out
will
of
use?
out of three, it will pick one instance, whichever service is available. That is about load balancer. That is the meaning of client side load balancing here. You are running five. Out of it will choose one instance to send your request and get the response. That is meaning of load balancing for your application here.
Got it.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, one
yeah,
question here. Here,
yeah.
for client side, right, only Eureka only will use. Other than that, we can use any other thing also. Any other.
If it is a HashiCorp
I'm not
also
aware.
available.
Just
No, in last session I discovered, right? Service discovery tools to you, Eureka and HashiCorp, Zookeeper, and AWS config map, like different kind of discovery tools are available. This is linked with our Eureka, this concept completely
okay.
clear.
Eureka is from the
Spring
Spring
Cloud
only is
libraries
providing,
is
right?
supporting this one,
Mm.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Next, how it works behind the scenes means, now with our architecture, what is our requirement with our architecture, guys? Cart microservice. Whenever you are creating product, you want to add to the cart, correct? Everyone remember cart microservice functionality? You are giving the product ID, you are giving user ID, how many quantities are required that particular product. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, at the time of creation, you are giving product ID. Product ID validation should be required. Am I correct? That means
Yes.
cart service should call product service your application. I think I need to change this payment instead of product. Okay, I will change it later. Okay, next, REST template checks the Eureka registry. Find all instances of product service. So what we'll do, we will run in our local system. Product microservice will run on two different instances here, like 8051, 8041. Okay, and at a runtime, it will follow round robin algorithm. Means whichever traffic is not available, whichever available instance is available, you are sending three requests. Imagine at one shot you are running. Okay, now I will give another point, like how I can say, imagine your product microservice is running on three three instances. Okay, how round robin will work I'm explaining. Now you are sending 4 requests at concurrently, not one by one. At one shot you are sending 4 concurrent users are sending the request. Now out of 4, at a time how many requests will handle concurrently?
Three.
3. Now 1 it will go, 2 it will go, 3 it will go, then 4 it will go to here. Now if you are sending 5, you are sending fifth request here. Like it will be round robin fashion. Request will reach to whichever service level 1 2 3, then again 1 2 3. Like it will, suppose you are sending 100 request here. When you are sending 100 request means concurrently you are sending 100 request, then these 100 requests will be divided into under 3. Now tell me, for each server how many requests will handle?
Yeah, nearly 33.
Nearly 30,
Nearly 33,
33.
33, 33. Now still another one instance, it will go either 1 2 or 3, whichever instance is available. That is how it will work internally here, round robin algorithm. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now then we need to send request to the selected instance here. This is the one we need to implement in our application as well. Okay. Overall summary: Eureka registry means holding list of all registered microservices. This annotation means enhancement for REST template to resolve service name in URL, enabling your calling microservices via application name. And a client side load balancing means your microservice select an instance from Eureka and send the request directly to them. This is about your how you can do this activity. How we can start it? Let me start implementation. Click the Discord. Uh, Not this is the one. Let me go to, yeah. Now from here, what is the first step I should perform? Now here, this is your cart microservice, correct? Now everyone here, how to create a REST template? Everyone aware, right? Now see, okay. Let me go to your pom.xml file. Let me click. It's taking a lot of time. Guys, 1 minute. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, now what we'll do now? Uh, we are in the cart microservice. Click on dependency hierarchy. Here, if you add, uh, where is our Eureka? Now are able to see here. There should be Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client. It is downloading Eureka client, Eureka core. Are able to see everyone? Spring Cloud Starter Load Balancer. When you add this dependency, automatically it is downloaded this dependency as well in your application. Previously, we should add manually. Later on time, they are added automatically here. If you observe carefully, here Spring Cloud Load Balancer, Spring Boot Starter Catchy here, and Evictor. Even we have a concept on Catchy as well. That is later we can discuss more details on this topic here. Okay. Now you got to know load balancer is inbuilt is available now. Now first step is Go to application.java. Now here what we can do, let me create a object here. Which object I need to create? REST template object I should create. REST template, get REST template. Okay, return new REST template object here. REST template object here. This is the first step. Now we should apply at the rate bean annotation. You should apply annotation about load balanced here. This is the annotation you should specify. Now this is about the REST template object creation. Now go to your service layer, card service IMPL. Now here already we written, right, product ID is exist in database or not using REST template. We need to do this verification. Okay, let me, why bean annotation? Now already explained, it as part of your first two classes at the rate bean to create your custom classes. If you have your classes in your object, you can make at the rate component, but the REST template is available under your libraries. Spring is given to you. To make singleton object, we should use at the rate bean. At application startup, object is created by your IOC container. Now wherever you want, you can auto wire the REST template here. That is the benefit of at the rate bean annotation. Clear for your question? At least respond, guys. Praveen.
If you repeat once again, it would be helpful.
Okay. What does it means? By default, your IOC container should maintain singleton objects. Every time objects will not create unnecessary heap area, more memory will be created. To maintain singleton objects, you should specify at the rate bean for custom classes here. Now, REST template is my class already given by the Spring framework. Now you guys tell me.
Given by Spring Framework.
Spring framework. Can I apply at the rate component for this REST template
No.
to create? No. So in those cases, to create an object as a singleton, we should specify at the rate bean annotation. Lot of people interview difference between at the rate component versus at the rate bean. Your own classes you can apply at the rate component. Already provided classes, to make it singleton object, you can use at the rate bean annotation. Then anywhere wherever you want, you can make auto wire inside your classes as well. If you don't specify at the rate bean, you need to create manually your object like this. Unnecessary object creation will be more. Then in that case, auto wire is not required at all. But what is the problem? Every time, if you are sending 100 requests, means 100 objects will be created. Memory problem, memory issues will start. So to avoid that, to make it as a singleton, to make it IOC container, we can use REST template in this approach. Clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Now here I need to check product exist or not. Just I want to check product is exist or not. If product is not exist, I will throw the exception. I will throw the exception here. Now what I will do, I am sending request dot get product ID. I am created another method. I am creating one method. Okay, now here we should write our logic. Now how you can make a API call? REST template, there is an option called get for entity. You need to specify your URL and what is the output you are expecting here. Now you need to prepare your endpoint here. String endpoint equals to, what should I do? Which microservice you need to call? Which microservice you need to call?
Product.
Product microservice. Now go there, copy this one, product hyphen service, copy and keep it to here. Then Which endpoint you need to call? Go there, product controller. Now slash
Get
products are available. Let me go there. Let me prepare complete URL slash. Now go there, go there. Is this URL or not? Is product exist? What is the return type? Boolean data
boolean.
type. Now this is the complete URL or not? Copy, go there and keep it here. Now this product ID is the dynamic here. So what I will do, I will be append your product ID. Now your endpoint is ready. Now it will communicate to Eureka. At runtime you will get your IP address and port number. IP address and port. This is a endpoint URL. Now let me copy, and here what is the return type? Boolean data type. Boolean dot class. That's it. Now you will get your object, response entity object. Now what should I do? If response entity dot okay means it is a success. Let me check. He is a has body or get status code. Okay. Now it should be 200. If it is a successful, then I should get your object. How should I get? Response entity dot get body. What is the value you will get? What is the value you will get it here? It's a Boolean data type here. Let me use control from the keyboard. Now this is the is product exist or not you will get. If product not exist, that means if it is a false condition. Now imagine if it is a true, you no need to do anything. Now if it is a false, you get it. False you got. Okay, then it will become true, right? So what we can do, how we can handle guys this scenario? Can you help me here? What should I do here? If it is a false means product not exist means what should I do?
Through the exception.
We need to throw the exception. Now is product same thing, right? Now not equal to throw new sum. I want to throw a runtime exception. You can handle your own exception handling at runtime as well. Here let me provide. Now here what should I do? Here we can make it as a product not exist in DB. Like this we should give. That means that particular product is available. Just I am throwing the exception. If it is everything is good, no worries. You no need to do anything here. Like you can make it as a yes or else conditions, whatever you want. We can write the logics as well. Now we'll verify this one how it is working. Is anything to change this one? Tell me guys, are we good this logic? Anything to improve? Are we good?
In reality, hi Bas.
Your voice
Hi
is
Bas.
breaking.
Can you,
Your voice completely
hello?
breaking. Yes.
Can you?
Please ping in the
So
chat
in
box.
real
Not
time
clear.
also we will write this exception as a
In the real time is already explained as part of our REST API concept. Just go through that. You need to handle try catch blocks, client server exception, server exception, everything you need to handle. Already explained as part of my REST API. Okay, please go through once. Right now to make API call, just I return normal logic. Everything we should keep in try catch block. Now if you want to know where we explained means as part of our student report, if you see, just I want to show you as well where I explained this concept here. See here, handling client responses and errors consuming an API using REST template. Everyone aware guys how we handled done previously,
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah, I think you missed the video. Please go through once. Production ready, how you can do that. Okay, this is good. Now what I will do, first product microservice. I need to run my Eureka first. Let me run Eureka. First, you need to run your Eureka server. Okay. Now,
Sir,
um,
we are getting the output or not, sir? So
which
we are
output?
checking only the true or false only. It is existing or not only.
That's it. That is the your functionality of your API, right? What is the return type of this method? You need to check whether product available in DB or not. If it is a true means product exists. If it is a false means that means product not available in product microservice. Then you should throw exception while adding to the cart. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now let me run product microservice. It is running on 8051. Okay. Once it is working now, then we can handle all kind of activities. Now same application I want to run with a different port number as well, 8041 also. Same application I want. Now your product microservice is running on two different instances but communicating to same database only, but it is running on two port numbers. How to run? First run the application as it is, change your port number, run your application again. Now it will be run on two instances for your product microservice. Now you can able to see in our Eureka dashboard as well. I will show you now. Now go to localhost 8761, enter. Are you able to see 8051 8041? Now let me run my cart microservice. Cart service is running on 8052. Now go there, verify the Eureka as well. Now your cart is running on 8052, product is running on 51 and 41. Now when you send a request, now in Postman when you send as a request, it will make it as a not a concurrent request, one by one. Always either it will go to 51, either it will go to 41. But if you are using JMeter and when you test like concurrently, if you send, then the request will go to either one of the instance as well. Now see how it is behaving now. Now go to your Postman, go to the your flow and go to your cart ms, create a cart item. Okay. Now I want to add to the cart. Now let me provide valid cart product ID and send it here. Now are able to see 201 created. Now in cart microservice anywhere, am I hard coded your port number or anything? Am I hard coded or anything?
No.
Not at all here. Now verify which instance it is reached. Product service, it reached to which port number? 8050 port number, 8051. If you another product microservice, it's not reached here. Now it will not reach. If you shut down 8051, then automatically your request will reach to 8041. Just observe here. Now I am sending one more request. Just observe here. I am sending one more time. Now 201 created. See every time 8051. Now I am putting 8051 here. providing invalid ID 177 and send it here. Now internal server error. Now just verify. Go down. Product not exist in database here. When you handle your custom exception handler, already we discussed exception handling, whichever format you want, you can handle. Now create one instance manually here. This is 8051. Oh, no. Guys, if you observe here, this is 8051, your request is received. If you verify another microservice, oh, that is different, right? That's okay. Yeah. Now clear the screen. Okay. Now I'm shut down the application of one microservice instance. Okay. Now to make sure, refresh. Now which service is running? 80541 is running. Okay. Now go there and send your request. Are able to see now your request is reached to 8041 or not? 8041 or not? Are able to see, guys?
Yes.
This is the how client side load balancing work for your application here. This is by using REST template with the help of load balanced annotation, Spring Cloud load balancer for client side load balancing. Are we clear this topic? Any questions?
So,
Sorry? Someone saying I didn't hear properly. At least response, guys. I given a very good concept to you. You guys are sitting silent, no response.
clear.
What about others? Rakesh, Sachin, Sai,
Yes, sir.
good. So can you guys try for user ID in this pattern? Check product exist. You need to verify user ID is available or not in DB. You need to verify. Can you try that activity today?
Yes, sir.
So that it's kind of an assignment to you how it will be work. Once you done this activity, next session we'll discuss about a topic called Fiend client. Now to run your REST template, these many lines of code you written, you no need to write single line of code. This one just a interface, you can do very simpler approach, that is a declarative Fiend client, that I will be discussing tomorrow session. So that is all for today. Maybe by tomorrow we'll continue the remaining topics as well. Now what topics we done today? Let me jump into here. If you see as part of interview guide, what is load balancer, why load balancer implemented, how to implement, and till here we done. Are able to see here till here? And how do you call a service? What happen if you forget? Means it will throw immediately service failure. Now have a look here. So what I will do, go to your application.java. Just I am commenting load balanced annotation. Okay, I am running my cart microservice one more time. Then I will make a API call. Then what will happen? Just observe.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
How many microservices can be added to Eureka server? Is there any limitation? Is there?
Till how I don't think so. It's a limitation until how much memory allocated in the Eureka, how many your CPU RAM is available. You can add it as many number of, if I'm not wrong.
Depending on the instance
Yes, correct.
capacity and the RAM size or
Correct.
CPU size, right?
Correct.
If I'm not
Yes.
wrong. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good question. But I will have a look. How means still Until you have a memory, if you have everything, your application is running perfectly. Any number of instances you can. I don't think so. It's a limitation. If there is a limitation, it's a drawback. Definitely, I don't think so. We had that limitation. Okay, now let me send it my request again. Internal server error. Now go back. Unknown host exception. Are able to see the guys? Are able to see the exception? IO error. Product service not exist. This is the root cause. Unknown host exception. Unknown host exception means your application is not running under this host. Why? Because you remove load balanced annotation. If you add, then it will understand about your Eureka. Then you can able to. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. Let me go to PPT again. Okay, that is about these two things, guys. Are you clear about these questions now? No question and answer, not like that, guys. These questions practically we implemented or not. Once you implemented this approach now, in interview someone ask, easily you can explain by yourself as well. Okay, regarding the fiend client, I will explain tomorrow. When I get a time now, I will do a web client also, then I will explain you that activity as well. In tomorrow, we'll do the remaining things, Eureka replication and a fiend client communication. Even if you down your Eureka, you shut down the Eureka, still you can communicate. But how it is working, that we can discuss it as part of tomorrow. Now, cart to user, are we able to handle now? Without hard coding IP address, are we able to communicate or not?
Yes, sir. We can.
Everyone accepted? See, this is the URL just now I done. I give an assignment, this one, guys. User to MS. You guys can try, guys. Who are all interested, try and let me know if you're facing any problem or that. How will check logs in my, that concept is not yet started. Checking the logs. Nidhi. Why? Because if you see here, this is our module 8, centralized logging for your microservices. So today what we done, this one is done, guys. How many of you are updating this one, guys? Anyone updating or no? This is in progress, is not at still it is project development. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the field. Here I supposed to, sorry,
One small question.
yeah, go ahead.
One small question, not related to this issue. Okay, actually, I have cloned your repositories. Okay, when I'm
Okay,
importing,
okay.
right?
Before
So
that,
for the
just a minute,
SL4J,
just a minute. Before that, is everyone clear? Are we good for today's session?
Yes, sir.
I have one
Yeah,
question.
please go ahead.
Can you
First, go
just
ahead.
in the coding part, can you just show me like from which yeah, from card service you are trying to call the product service, right?
Correct.
Okay. So for today's session, if I try to just work on these two things, product service and card service, that should be fine, right?
Hmm. Yes, only user service you should do. Now you need to verify.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Check user exist or not. You need to verify this one. Request dot get user ID. This validation check you should do.
Okay.
Okay. Whichever method is applicable in user microservice, you should verify. Now go to your user service, go to controller layer. Which API you will call? This API. You get a response of user DTO means it's a valid user. That means
Mhm.
you are providing valid information. If you are providing invalid means you should throw a same pattern. Nothing will be
So
changed.
yeah, so what is the overall product we are developing here? We have the user, we have the product. Is it we are trying to yeah
Validation,
this
data consistency we need to handle, right?
no
See,
is I mean to say, is this any project or anything which we are finally developing it as? Because I don't see any mapping here. Here we have product, here we have user, here
Still,
we have
we
cart.
have a order payment. Still, it is not yet done. Until if you know these two communications, then I will start order MS in the next session.
No, no. My question is it related? Because I missed a few of the sessions in the beginning. So my question is it related to shopping portal or what kind
Exactly,
of,
shopping
yeah,
e-commerce project. Maybe you missed the day one
e-commerce?
session.
Yes, yes, yes. I missed
Please
five
go
to
ahead.
six classes, so that's
Please go
a
ahead.
reason.
Day one and day two mandatory. Else you may have n number of questions in your mind. Better
Mm-hmm.
to avoid all the things. Watch day one and day two is the mandatory. Complete
Mm-hmm.
flow I explain already there. As a
Okay,
user, as a e-commerce, what kind of services we are developing the project. Out of that, three projects we developed as of now. Fourth
okay,
project we need to implement, that is order MS.
okay,
Clear now?
okay.
Okay. So just give
Under
me
MS, can I know what is MS? Like the naming convention? It's
microservice.
microservices, right?
Microservice.
Okay,
MS
okay,
custom. Order
okay,
hyphen service or order hyphen MS based on whichever is
okay.
comfortable you can use
Got
it.
it, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me commit this code, then I will take your question. Someone is paying some workspace problem, right? Just a minute. Let me commit this piece of code. Let me cmd git status git add one hyphen product service. Sorry, git add one hyphen product service, git add two hyphen cart service, git status, git commit, rest template, and load balancer, git push. Okay, so that is all for today's session. I will continue another way in tomorrow's session. Now you can ask your question, someone you have, right?